Hi, Jacob here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I know a lot of you have recently purchased the new MacBook Pros with the Pro chip and the Max chip, also the first generation M1 computers, and probably one of the very best accessories for your new computer and desk setup is one of these recently released Thunderbolt 4 docks. And today I'm going to introduce you to QGeeM Thunderbolt 4 docking station 16-in-1. Over the past year, I've done quite a few dock reviews, so I'm getting to know these quite well. And my goal is to get my hands on all the very best ones and the newest ones so I can review them and share my thoughts with you. But today I'm going to be showing you the QGeeM, and I'm sure a lot of you know the company QGeeM. They make a ton of quality computer accessories. Anytime I'm buying adapters and cables and stuff on Amazon, I usually actively search out their products because they're usually the most reliable and have really high ratings as well. So when they released their new Thunderbolt 4 dock, I was excited to get my hands on one of them and start doing some testing and share my thoughts with you guys. As always, I'm going to take a second to tell you why having a dock is absolutely fantastic if you have a laptop. It allows you to have the best of both worlds. You can have your laptop and be mobile, but when you want to get comfortable and get real work done, you need to dock your computer at a desk and connect to all your peripherals. Quickly and conveniently plug in one single cable into a Thunderbolt port and you're connected. So you can connect to a large monitor, fast hard drives, camera, microphone, printer, and everything else you need. So what's different about this dock over previous generations of, like, say, the Thunderbolt 3 docks? First of all, this one is Thunderbolt 4, and the big advantage of the latest version of Thunderbolt is the ability to split the Thunderbolt lane into 3. So this dock has a single cable coming from your computer, and it creates 3 downstream Thunderbolt ports, and they're all running at the max 40 gigabits per second. And this allows you to connect high-speed devices such as external SSDs. And keep in mind, these ports are also compatible with USB-C devices. Another question you may have is why buy a Thunderbolt dock over a USB-C hub? And it's all about bandwidth and speed. The USB hubs, they max out at about 10 megabits per second, whereas Thunderbolt is 40 megabits per second. Plus, this device comes with its own power source, so when you're connected, it'll also charge your laptop. And this particular dock charges at 60 watts. You can use a USB-C hub in a pinch when you're on the go, but if you're creating a professional base station where you dock your laptop, this is the type of dock that you want to use. Let's go over the ports on this bad boy. As mentioned, you have 3 Thunderbolt ports. One on the back is actually an upstream port to connect to your computer, and the third is on the front, and this is kind of a nice design. And you have a super fast gigabit Ethernet port, so you'll have stable internet when you're connected. For your monitors, you have both HDMI and DisplayPort, or you can use one of the Thunderbolt ports to plug your monitor in. You also have 2 regular USB-A ports on the back here, and that's good for your legacy devices. Plus, you have a port to plug in your power brick that comes with it. So let's flip this thing over, and you have a microphone and a headphone jack, SD card reader, and a reader for the micro cards, and finally more USB-A ports and a third downstream Thunderbolt port. I really like this design, how they put 2 of your Thunderbolt ports that plug into devices in the back and 1 in the front. And the cable that connects to your computer is also in the back. And I know a lot of people didn't like some of the designs from other companies where the port that connects to your computer comes out the front, because if you have it on your desk, then you have this kind of ugly cable coming out of the front of it. So I really like this design. It just keeps it nice and clean. Okay, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I know you simply want to know how this dock performed. So at the house we have first generation M1 MacBook Air, plus I have the new chip, the new MacBook Pro 14-inch. So we tested with both computers and I used it for about a week. And I will say it was absolutely perfect. First off, I'd like to talk about the positives. There was no glitchiness. Everything worked fine. You just plug in, all your devices would work, and that's what you really want with a quality dock. And all the USB-A ports, those were stable. The DisplayPort and the HDMI ports, those worked well with my monitor. I also tested running Thunderbolt to my monitor, and that worked great. And I tested the gigabit Ethernet port. I have really fast internet at my house, and I was hitting speeds of about 950 gigabits per second, which is extremely fast. I also tested this dock with external Thunderbolt drives, and they performed really fast as well. And I guess lastly, the design. I really like the design. It's just nice and clean and simple. It's a dock that looks good on your desk. So let's talk about the negatives. There really weren't very many. I think I'm just really digging for something to say, but some people may have an issue with the amount of power that this dock delivers to your laptop. It delivers 60 watts. If you have the first generation M1, those computers, that's all they can take anyway, is 60 watts. But if you do have one of the newer M1 Pro and Max chips, these ones can take a lot more power. But I'll tell you, the dock that I've been using previous to receiving this, it gave out 60 watts as well, and I had no issues with that. Yeah, every once in a while, if I'm really powering through things, I see my battery does come down a little bit, but it's always charging. And I know some people may have some thoughts about this, that it makes your battery work harder, but at the end of the day, I feel 60 watts is enough, especially if you have previous generation computers. But that's maybe one point that could be taken off, that it does put out 60 watts instead of some other ones put out 90, maybe like 95 watts, 90 watts, that type of thing. Another thing that I have to say is to activate the DisplayPort and the HDMI port, you have to install some software. It's just not all, plug and play. That's a little bit different, especially for Mac users. And, it's not a big deal. It just takes you about 2 minutes to install the software. But that's only if you're going to be using the DisplayPort and HDMI. If you are using the Thunderbolt to your monitor, then of course you don't have to install that software. But that's something I need to mention. I didn't really find anything that didn't work. The one thing that I do need to mention is the 4K Elgato Cam Link that some people use to connect a professional camera to their computer for video conferencing. It does not work through the dock, but this is an issue I think it's more related to the Elgato Cam Link or the Apple computers, because I haven't found a Thunderbolt 4 dock that this actually works on. So it's some type of software compatibility issue with Thunderbolt 4, but all the Thunderbolt 4 docks that I have tested or used, the Cam Link doesn't work through it. And it's really not a big deal. Once again, in my case, I just end up having a direct cable coming to my computer. I'm connecting one cable, but if I do need to video conference, I just plug in another one, and that hooks up my camera. Okay guys, hope you liked my video and my breakdown of this new QGeeM Thunderbolt 4 dock. If you have comments, leave them below, and if you do like my content, leave me with some thumbs up and a sub, and I'll see you in the next one.